Hey, welcome to the replay. So tonight we are going to be using the truck cutouts. So I have never used these, and they have been around probably like since I think last summer. Let me just. So I just want to show you guys something first. So because it's February 1st, if you look, oops, that side, I don't know. It's like all reverse. Well, whatever. My information there. Um, so Club Couture, that's the new transfer for the month, and it's so $19.99 a month. There's also a bunch of extra bonuses this month for new members and old members. Um, let's see if I can just quickly rattle them off. So if you sign up this month, you get 5 free transfers that are previous Club Couture transfers from last year. And if you're already a Club Couture member, and you spend, just do it in order for $60 or more, you'll also get 5 transfers, and they'll be from the 2020 and before. So, and then there's also the spring and summer catalog launch that's happening on February 8th. So that is coming soon. So let's see. I really meant to get on a lot earlier tonight. As you see, I'm in the kitchen. So I have like a hot mess going on right now. I always do in my craft room. It's like the only way that the room kind of is. And so I was all ready to go on in there, but then the dogs, well, one of the dogs kept coming in and he's jumping on me. And I'm like, I have like chalk paste flying all over. So like I switched out to the kitchen and I'm ready to go live, and then they want to go outside. And then, I'm like, seriously, I'm like, everybody's gonna go to bed before I get live. All right, so our project tonight, we're gonna do something to match the Valentine's project that I did with last month's Club Couture. So these are the colors I used. Obviously, we're not going to use the white, but I just wanted to kind of show them. If you want to see the picture of the project, you can look in. If you just go in Facebook, right in the feed, it should be there. Okay. And then you can kind of see what we're coordinating with. So these cutouts are really cool. You can use either side. I'm using this side. So before I am doing anything, and I did this off camera, I just used the wax. Everything is reversed. I'm like turning it the wrong way. I used the wax, and I just very lightly put the wax on there and then buffed it off. Truck Couture does have a wax. I will tell you, I couldn't find it. I have one. I don't know where it is. So yeah. So with this transfer, I'm just going to kind of show you with a lot of the layered transfers. If you look right here, you see it says B1 and then B2. That means this layer you're going to put first, and that layer you're going to put second. Even though I feel like your brain wants to tell you to do it the other way around. And the only reason it has B versus A is this is A. So A1 and A2, because this was all one big transfer, and I cut it apart. So if you notice, it's so that you could do the cutouts either side. And I will just tell you, there are some really cute cutouts coming out in the with the new launch. I am going to post the catalog if you want to look through it. It's just like a digital catalog. I was trying to think of a kind of a different way to do it, but so there's also registration marks like right here, but obviously because we're going on this, we're not going to have registration, anywhere for the registration mark to be. But if you're putting this on a chalkboard or a wood sign, oops. So I already cut this apart, and I just cut it in half just to make it easier for storage. And then I cut, this is like, it's like fabric. And then I just cut it apart from the other piece just so I could put it right back on this sheet. However, I missed a little piece there. So now before we put it on our board, we want to make sure that we fuzz it. because I've never used it before. And once you do use a couple of transfers, you'll kind of like feel how like the stickiness of it, and you can kind of decide how much you want to fuzz it. This one, I mean, it's sticky, but it's not super sticky. So for example, like right now I have this on the towel. It's not to keep my counter clean because everything wipes up really easy. This, when you have the transfers in a slick surface like mirror, glass, the countertop like this, it's gonna really stick. So, and you just kind of want to, with this one, because we can't really use the registration marks, just kind of line it up the best you can. Something I like to do too is just hold it up to the light and you can kind of see, where it's falling. So it is a little bit, the cutout is a little bigger than the transfer, but I just try to look to see around my edge if it's kind of even or not. And then I just thought, did I pick up the wrong layer first? And I just kind of pick it up a couple times. And I'm just using the light coming behind it. So I'll start in the middle and kind of just press it down. All right. So I already got my paste ready. So you could do this and like literally go, do the wood, with a brown color, do this another color, do the wheels. I'm going to just really keep it simple to match my other things. So I'm just using 2 colors. I wish I brought up, I have another one. Actually, this is the truck transfer, like the old one. I mean, it looks the same. Is the first live I ever did. So I still have the project. I had it like for sale for a little bit, like when I first started. Then I'm like, why am I selling it? It's my first project. That was like, that live was, it's funny. I'm not going to lie. I like Tito's vodka. And so I would make with the Tito's, I think it was with the Tito's vodka, I would make like iced tea and vodka. It was either that or, what the heck is that? The sweet tea vodka it might have been too. But yeah, I was like drinking. So just be careful that you don't go off the edge because there is a little bit of the edge kind of showing, especially with this paste that I'm using right now. It's a little bit chunky. I'm just trying. I probably could have used a squeegee that was a little bigger, and I'm just, just going over the open areas. Don't worry about it if you're kind of on the, the green teal areas, but I mean, the little teeny bit that you're wasting from that is not a big deal. So now right here, I want to be careful too, because it's got the transfer overhang slightly. Oops, I just said it and then I just almost did it. Okay. So let me just get off the extra. So we're just kind of removing the little lines that we created. Hopefully I got everything. I think right here it's a little bit, because my paste is starting to dry a little. Sometimes too, when I look at these, it's like, oh, I missed a spot, but it's really just like distressing kind of look. But that's how it's meant to look. So just peel it up. So it does have like a couple little spots with that make it look distressed. So if you do miss a spot or two, it is not really going to make a big deal. Make a big difference. Okay. And now I just want to get the paste off my hands. So now the only thing, I need to dry this before I do the next step. And I don't have, I'm like using all my outlets on the other side. So I just have to step over here, and I'm just gonna really quick dry this a little bit just so I don't lift it all off. So I apologize for the noise. So I will post the sped up version just because I know this is not, especially when I stop like that and I just need a little bit more and do stuff. It kind of, I know you're scrolling and it gets boring. Give me just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so you can kind of see, well, I don't know, you guys can't really, if you look like right in here, you can see there's one little line where it's still like wet. So it changes color, some of the colors anyway. So now I'm just gonna take my wax. Now you don't have to do this, but I just like to do it because I'm a little fraidy cat and I don't want to ruin what I just did. And I'm not going to take a piece of wax and put it on there, but I'm just going to very gently kind of just put a little bit, just whatever residue is left on there, just to, okay, I do need a little bit because there's barely any. Okay, don't do what I'm doing. Put your hands in there. It's probably like really very toxic. Okay. I'm not even worrying about the top part. I just want to make sure that I don't like lift off like any of this. And really that's, if it's, everything is like 100% dry and it's not going to be a problem, but this is kind of a way to like ensure. I say that and I'll probably fail. It's just kind of a way to like ensure that you can layer. So initially and this is exactly how I like wax the project before starting. And now you don't want to really press because, we just put this down and we don't want to, I'm just going to kind of go over that just so everything is the same color. So you can see it is taking off a slight bit of the color. And if this were like 100% dry, I would press like a little bit harder, but I don't want to risk it. I mean, the good thing is if I like messed up, because I'm kind of anticipating like the wheels, just because it's not all the way dry. I might lift some off there. We can go back over, wash this off, and just redo the wheel too. Okay. So there is that. Make sure if you're going to do this in your kitchen, clean the counter really well. Read the warning on the wax. Okay, so now we're going to get our other part of the transfer. Oh my God, these strings. So the other thing I couldn't find in the house with like 100 pairs of scissors. Couldn't find my Truck Cutouts scissors, which they have. I really like them because they have they're like silicone coated. So when you're cutting stuff like this, that's like sticky, you just like cuts right through it. So I cut these with like other scissors, so it kind of didn't go as well. So now I'm just lining it up right on these lines. And again, if we had, like if we're doing it on a chalkboard, you would have the little registration marks. But I mean, this is pretty like self-explanatory. So I don't want to like really press it down because I don't want to like when I go to pull this off, I don't want to rip everything off, especially because it's like fresh. So just kind of. But if it does rip off some of it, it'll be fine because it's has a distressed look. I feel like I use that as like an excuse all the time. Like, oh, it's just stressed. You could see like, so this piece looks a lot better. That other one was a little bit, a little lumpy. Oops, I think I have an air bubble. I do. So because it made a little noise, like if you think of like Rice Krispies, it's kind of like it made like a little like Rice Krispie noise. So I know there's an air bubble over here, so I don't want to go and swipe down the whole transfer because actually I'm gonna switch to a little squeegee because it'll like pull the bubble along. We don't want to do that. And I'm not gonna like mess around with it too much because that same thing. I don't want to like move that bubble around and kind of mess the whole project up. You could also, this would probably be better going this way. And I mean, if you weren't happy with how this came out, with like the lighter colors, especially because you waxed it, you could just definitely go and take it right off. Probably not this darker pink here because that would probably stain the wood. But the other thing you could do, you could always get a little sanding block and sand it, repaint it, whatever. I mean, they say like one-time use, but all these like little wood things, I always use them multiple times. Okay, a little extra piece there. Honestly, I'm like a little bit nervous because of that bubble. Okay. It was like right in there, but you can't even tell. So we have our little pink truck. This actually would work really well for Easter too, I guess. Let me just get this out of the way. So again, you could go and do the colors, do the colors however you wanted. Again, like the wood, the wheels, all the different things. You could also, there are like the chalk pens, chalk markers. Chalk Couture does have some, but it's like black and white come together and then like silver and gold come together. But I mean, I've seen, chalk markers, at, the craft store or whatever. You could always embellish it with that, glue things on. There are also wood cutouts that sit in the back of this truck that are, for things for all the different holidays or times of the year. So, but that is our project for tonight. As soon as this dries, I'll take a picture of it with the little setup I have. So, but that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night, and maybe next time I will be here a little earlier.